change from the advertised formation. Ganjic chips it around, easily finds Lucas, then plays it low, and that's going to be comfortable for Pohang Jet. But yeah, it looks more like three central defenders, with Han Yeon-seo on the left side of that, Park Sung-woo and Jeon Min-kwon, and then Shin Kwang-hoon and Oh Jung-won out wide, pushing further forward as needed. Is Jung Sung-won will be looking to push Oh Jung-won back. Kim Ji-sung cross to Yazan, looking for Dukanjic, who's chasing it down. And here the Pohang crowd quite clearly at the moment. Be interesting to see what sort of demonstrations of opposition the home crowd give us. It's the north stand where they congregate, just out of view at the moment, but to the left side of your screen. George beats her to the challenge by Yazan. It spins up and out of play. Jeon Sung-won, a really important signing for Seoul. I think wasn't totally clear how he would do for them. Well, no signing can be a certainty, but he's been particularly impressive. Just a couple of goals, but it's felt like a bigger contribution than that. Partly because he almost single-handedly won Seoul a game when they were on the verge of losing at home to Daegu earlier this year. It would have been an embarrassment. Former Pohang goalkeeper Kang Hyun-woo. Yazan goes back to Kang. Kang lifts it up, and it's out of play. The manager's not going to appreciate that. George, Obadan. Both of these sides can be quite comfortable in possession. To Ganjic. Kim Dong-jin comes across, and they're sort of cancelling each other out in that regard right now. I mean, Pohang have got one of the best central midfielders, if not the best central midfielder in the competition in Obadan. Kim Dong-jin. Juninho on the overlap, can't keep it in. Lingard. Ganjic is trying to make himself a target in the middle. Lucas wanted to go short to Mutemun instead. Yazan. Kim Ju-sung. Short to Roo Jae-moon. Like two boxers just exchanging jabs at the moment. No one really going for anything too spectacular at this stage. 7 minutes in, but plenty of time to come. Obenan. Kim Dong-jin. Then Han Hyun-seo back to Kim Dong-jin. Park Sun-woo. Shin Kwon-hoon is there. Couldn't play it into the feet of Juninho. Strong challenge, no free kick. Obenan holds the ball in the middle, takes it away from Lingard, and then Oh Jung-won goes to George on the left. He's shepherded back by Park Soo-il. Kim Dong-jin through the middle. Obenan couldn't quite turn for Lee Ho-jae in front of him. Juninho. Obenan. Again, cancelling each other out. Both teams keen to have a go, but not finding the space required. It's a good, stern defending. Flying challenges in the middle, in that case from Kim Dong-jin, number 88. You wonder, with Ki Song-yong in the Pohang side, how that will affect this team. Chances for players like Kim Dong-jin. Here's Lingard. Park Do-yoon back to Jong Sung-won. And it's Yazan. Kim Ju-sung spreads the play. Kim Jin-soo will have a look. Lucas, Roo Jae-moon. I just think could he have played it forward there to Lucas? Maybe a little caution. Lingard, and he looks to play it forward for Draganjic, who's gone down, turned around as if free kick should have been coming. Park Soo-il then knocks it back into the path of Hwang Do-yoon, and Obenan slides to win possession. George having a little charge ahead, but Kim Ju-sung with a rescuing challenge. Yazan tries to bring it forward. Out. And then Park Soo-il chips it forward for Jong Sung-won. Both sides seem to have every blade of grass covered defensively. And we've seen more than one clean sliding challenge of that nature. Kim Ju-sung there, following up on Kim Dong-jin's for Pohang. Yazan to Kim Ju-sung. And back with the goalkeeper. Well, be careful. Goalkeeper under a bit of pressure. Don't want to test his confidence in too close quarters. Pohang Jae up the other end deals with it. And keeps it in play in the process. Just about found Janino. Lingard has it for Seoul though. Ganjic back to Lingard. Knocks it forward for Hwang Do-yoon to chase. Kick out. Jong Seung-won, Woo Jae-moon, foiled by Obadan. Woo Jae-moon in a great position after his goal against Jeonbuk. He was looking almost at 2-2 there. Kim Ju-sung showed the yellow card, and I presume it's at least partly inspired by dissent. Jun Min-gwan across to Shin Kwang-hoon. Turns back to Jun. Kim Ju-sung forward to Hwang Do-yoon. Out to Kim Jin-soo. Finding Jong Seung-won. And Lucas has peeled off. Has two very close markers. He's gone down in the box. Penalty! He went through the middle of two Pohang defenders. Park Seung-wook appears to be the one with the conflict in question here. Just catches him on the back of the ankle, I think. Kind of curls a foot around Lucas. And, well, it's one of those where Lucas obviously knows where he is. He's crossed that white line. And I'm not sure if he knew he was going to be able to get through them, but as soon as he gets in that box and feels the contact, penalty is inevitable. Former Pohang manager Kim Ki-dong is had a challenging time steering Seoul to the heights that the club's investment and ambition would aim for. But getting back into the top half, putting a solid run of results together. I mean, they're only 5 points behind Pohang, and Pohang could be second tonight with a high-scoring win. And they're obviously not that far behind. As Lingard gets goal number 5 of the year. Cool as you like penalty. made that look so comfortable. Sends the keeper the wrong way. Well, he'd scored some goals earlier in the year and looked like he was really enjoying the captaincy and off-field activities. It all looked positive. He's had a tougher time of late sometimes, being subbed off relatively early in games, for instance. But leading by example there, taking a really solid spot kick. Trademark celebration with Park Sung-ho looking on with a look of someone who knows he was outdone by Lucas. And the manager, Park Tae-ha, oh, we've seen him booked before for dissent from the touchline. He didn't put up any real fight over that decision. No visible fight at all. Now Obadan out to Juninho. The fight back starts 18 minutes in. Juninho with a low drive, scooped up by Kang Hyun-moo. Kim Ju-sung, Park Soo-il, first time inside, had to be good. Was accurate, but pressure immediately. Both these sides with just one meaningful attempt. Seen keepers touch the ball before that, but nothing much between them in terms of attacking football before that penalty. Shin Kong-hoon looked like he'd been brought down there. The referee allows play on. Lingard, Kim Jin-soo, and then Jung Sung-won! And I tell you what, this might be looked at. There's the incident in the, well, the flag's up anyway. It could be looked at on two counts. There's the offside, and if that's the case, then you won't even have to think about the other. This is definitely offside. But it was that moment there. I'm not saying it would have been given as a foul, but it would have prompted a review. Kim Jin-soo with a lovely ball in. Jung Sung-won just ahead of the line as it was played. But definitely ahead of the line. Clearly offside. Well, Seoul just over 20 minutes in, suddenly looking like a relatively comfortable team to be leading Pohang. Almost making it two. Ganjic. Too much on the pass from Kim Ji-sung to the Ganjic, and Pohang will take it from their own penalty box. Hwang In-jae pumping it forward. Goes Pohang's way. The Ganjic questioning, pointing to his shoulder. Seoul. Obadam was in a great position and got Seoul a little worried. Kim hurting himself in the process of defending. With the final touch, but Obadam getting in between Ryu and Kim Ju-sung. Kim Dong-jin then to take the corner. Swings outward, headed away by Lucas, only as far as Obadam keeps the move going. Park Seung-hoon's cross flicks up. And Lucas sets up the counter. Jung Seung-won has pace. And he's got options trying to join him. Goes through the middle, goes down just inside the box. Referee had a great view. Now Jung-won. Pohang took a very early lead last time these teams met at Pohang earlier this year, and it finished 1-0. Just have a feeling like this is going to be a more end-to-end affair. Already signs of that. Seoul willing to push forward, not sit back on this lead, at least as things stand. Well, you can see some fans cheering behind that goal, but it's not the same as their usual large flag-wearing, waving, blaring, and loudspeaker sporting ultra group. Just couldn't get hold of it there. And it's forward to George. He does like to drift out wide, especially when you've got Lee Ho-jae in the middle. Finds Obadam, who needs to move the ball quicker. Couldn't do anything with it. Lingard was on him straight away. Jung Seung-won to Duganjic. Park Seung-hoon. Going to be a yellow card here at least for Obadam. He's saying chest. I mean, not sure what he's saying there, because elbow connected with the face, and we saw in the Daejeon game on Friday evening a red card for an elbow in the face, and it wasn't exactly the same as that, but it wasn't radically different either. Similar sort of contact. Will be a pitch side review, and this is a worrying sign for Pohang and for Obadam. more or less exactly what happened in the Daejeon game. The only difference is there wasn't a booking straight away. It's a high elbow. He's obviously not trying to elbow Hwang Do-yoon in the sense of, you know, there's your face and here's my elbow, but he is lifting his arm up and there's a little bit of aggression in it. You know, just competing for the ball in a slightly aggressive way. How strict do you apply the law in this case? As I said, I mean, contact itself is very reminiscent of the red card that was dished out on Friday in the Daejeon game. And yellow card cancelled, red card out. Well, for Obadan, that's devastating. For Pohang, it's devastating. For the game itself, it's, well, I won't say devastating, but doesn't help the competitive nature of the game, because Pohang are now going to be massively hard pushed to operate in their usual fashion through Obadan in the middle. There's a few similarities when you see in normal time without slow motion. There's no body language that suggests malice, and I'm not really sure. I mean, you seem to now just be applying red for whether it's done purposefully or just recklessly, and regardless of the actual outcome. That expression tells you what the red card means for Pohang. You know, whether it's right or wrong, that's what we've got. And the referee himself was going to give a yellow card. It's something that's been applied from above, literally. The VAR booth. They've said the referee should have a look at it. He has. He's had more than one look at it and decided, actually, that's a red. Obadan's initial defense of chest obviously wasn't convincing. What he might have said was, I really didn't know where he was and I was just protecting the ball. Not sure if that would have helped his case, but that's what it may have looked like if you're going to take the view of innocence. Lucas now for Seoul, and Seoul have a real chance to smell blood here. Well, if you're Pak Tae-ha, you obviously cannot take a defeatist attitude here. And in a way, it's liberating. You've got nothing to lose but to find a way through, or an attempt to. Lucas. John Min-kwon clears it as far as Doganjic. Jong Seung-won! It's blasted over the bar. We might see a bit more of that from Seoul, even though Doganjic is making the point that they don't need to be quite that ambitious. Perfect position for Seoul. If it was 0-0 and Pohang go down to 10 men, there's always that danger of Pohang just sitting on the game. might yet have a chance to do that if they can find what currently looks like an unlikely equaliser. Jung Seung-won. Into Hwang Do-yeon. Kim Jin-soo, Lingard. Lucas. And there's Roo Jae-moon. Short back to Lingard. Hwang Do-yeon to the back heel, offside, surely. Well, Lucas has fired it in, but let's wait and see here. Just wait and see. Seoul are celebrating. I mean, it's a strange one because everyone stopped for a moment. Even the announcer has delayed the celebratory music. Lucas was the only one who reacted here. He himself may have been onside. Was there another Seoul player? I think it was Kim Jin-soo, maybe interfering with play, even though he tried to not react. Somewhat anticlimactic goal. There's Kim Jin-soo, obviously offside, but Lucas very much onside. And Kim Jin-soo lets it roll past him and doesn't interfere in that sense. But he's, I don't know, he's in front of the keeper and he's not out of, he puts his hands up, but I'm not totally convinced that he's not involved in some respect. But Lucas's goal stands, and a strange one in terms of delayed celebration, and Lucas seemed to be for a moment the only player in the stadium, the only person in the stadium who seemed to think it counted for anything. But then there we are, 2-0. Pohang down to 10 men, and it's looking like a bleak night already for the Steelers. Well, Kim Ji-sung's on a yellow card, and what Seoul don't want to do is lose him now. Hwang In-jae to Chun Min-kwang. Kanjin holding on to Han Yeon-seop quite clearly. This does bunch things up somewhat in that top six. It, as things stand, also pushes Ulsan, the defending champions the last 3 years. They've won the title, remember. Pushes them temporarily down to 7th. But coming into this game, Ulsan had played only 19, Seoul had played only 20. After this game, Ulsan still have only played 19, they have 2 games in hand and be just 1 point behind Seoul, so not the end of the world for them, but definitely not a good look to come back from the Club World Cup out of the top 6. Ulsan will play when everyone else is on a break in a couple of weekends. July 12th, they'll play against Daegu in a delayed game. Kind of catch-up game, if you like. But this also, if it finishes this way, puts Seoul just 1 point behind Gwangju in 5th and 2 points behind Pohang in 4th, and 5 points behind 2nd place Daejeon. 15 points behind leaders Jeonbuk, who already seem to be running away with it, having been in a relegation playoff last year. Park Seoul. Cross to Han Hyun-suk. Seoul unable to keep the ball down that left-hand side. Just going to say that Seoul now have 21 goals this season. It's the lowest among the top 6 sides, and it's pretty much half the course for the bottom 3. So not a high-scoring team. Chance to add some of those to that tally tonight. As Johnson Won's cross is cleared away. Lingard back to Johnson Won. I mean, just to put things back into perspective, they came into tonight obviously on 19 goals scored, which is equal lowest in the whole table with Suwon FC, as Ganjic can't get there. Johnson Won, shot charged down. Lingard, it's saved. Good effort, good stop. Now then, Kim Hyuk-jin stands over the free kick. Headed back across with Ganjic then. Lingard looks to bring it forward. Woo Jae-moon won't land for him. That's a corner. Seoul probably wouldn't have been so happy about that. They went already 2-0 up. Really unnecessary corner to give away, but unfortunate. There's at least one big flag waving among the Seoul faithful, but there's also one with Ki Sung-young's face on it, which is the sign of protest. Normally you'd see a whole line of flags waving behind that goal. Jim with a good delivery. Headed back, but Lingard's there. They were going to go for that plan. Needed to have someone waiting on the edge of the box. It was actually in and out anyway, the corner. Got some good bend on it, not too much apparently. Kim Jin-soo on the outside of the knee, feeling some pain. Seoul finds to Ganjic, and then it's Pohang giving the corner away. short to Hungary. It's back with Johnson one. And then chip forward, Lingard's waiting for it. Possible handball. Players surrounding the referee, but no one seems to be taking the appeal too seriously at this moment. Kim Ji-sung again. Out to Yazan. Distribution has been questionable. Of no major consequence so far. Straight Kim Ji-sung from Hwang In-jae. Attempted through ball to Lingard from Lucas, not exactly accurate. I've got to say, for Patrick Klimala, it would be a great opportunity to come off the bench in this game and have a goal-scoring impact. Yet to find the back of the net in his substitute appearances so far. Just onside, Johnson one, cuts inside, and then back to Lingard. Lucas. To Ganjic! Straight at the keeper. Well, with that numerical advantage, Seoul certainly finding the space that they lacked earlier on. Maybe still a little hurried there from Ganjic. Still just the one attempt. Will let that run for the corner. 5 minutes to be added on, which reflects the penalty and also the red card review. Some back up, hobbling somewhat after that slide on the turf. Juninho to take the corner. It's open for Chun Min-kwang at the back post. He's holding his hamstring area. Hopping to his feet as quickly as he can. It's on the outside of the post from Chun Min-kwang. Well, you can see Park Seung-woo and Moon Do-yoon having a real tussle. It's led Seoul to kick us back on the way again. Goal kick, free kick, no real difference. Ganjic with some contact at Chun Min-kwang, but not quite clear how much and what sort, and given the earlier decision for Oberdan, let's have a look. Well, that's a little elbow, it's on the body, not the face. Gone side to side with him, but there's definitely a pointy end of his elbow that makes contact with Chun Min-kwang's body. And if he's up against a player who's less tall than Jun Min-guang, that could be in the face. Back to Han Seoul. Kim Dong-jin will take it around the back. He uses the keeper. Oh, it's blocked the kick by Lucas. Lingard comes back for it. Duganjic, 3-0! And it looks very much like 3 points as well for Seoul before half-time. Seoul with so much time. The kick from Hwang In-jae, obviously not good enough, but Lucas stood in the way and still had lots to do. The real problem for Pohang was he was allowed to think a bit more before playing it back to Lingard, and even that wasn't ideal because watch the replay, Lingard has to backtrack. Lucas is here. Lingard backtracks. Space for Duganjic. First time in the back of the net. Far too much time for Lucas and Lingard in the build-up to that move, but a symptom maybe of having an extra man on the field. Gone 5 minutes beyond the 45, and there's the halftime whistle. FC Seoul with a 3-0 lead. If you'd said that before the game, they would have firmly, I'm sure, considered it to be about as convincing a scoreline as they've had for a long time in this side. Ki Sung-yong making the move, and he's yawning at half-time before joining up with Pohang from Seoul. Not sure if anyone in a Pohang shirt or affiliated with the club will have been pleased with what they saw, but one mitigating factor, red card shown to Obadan. Join us for the second half with Seoul 3-0 up against Pohang Steelers. So Seoul still huddle, Pohang lined up ready for kickoff. They are 3-0 down after a pretty astonishing first half, given that Seoul had been the joint lowest scoring team in the whole division. The elbow issue still being discussed as we start the second half, because Pohang went down to 10 men, with midfielder Oberan being shown red for his elbow connecting with the face of Seoul midfielder Hwang Do-yoon. And Pohang, to say they've got an uphill climb from here would be beyond cliche and understatement. Moon Sun-min on for Jong Seung-won. Solitary change for Seoul at this stage. And Pohang, as we see an early-ish chance. Kang Min-jun on for Han Young-sok. George with the ball in, Iho-jae. A target that they didn't really utilise at all in the first half, even before going down to 10 men. Kim Ju-sung using Han Young-woo. Seoul's scorers, Duganjic with the third, Lucas with the second, and the opening goal, a penalty scored by Jesse Lingard, the captain. Yazan. Player that Seoul introduced in the second half as a sort of cat among the pigeons when they're chasing a game or level in a game, and he seems to provide a goal-scoring impetus. In this one, well, let's just see what he can do. Duganjic with the ball across. It's Lingard! Lingard! Well, the first touch let him down. Obviously, by his reaction, going to sit back on 3-0. Why would they? Here's the chance again. Back heel, Duganjic, and then he has another chance with the cross. Takes that deflection, which steers away from Moon Sun-min. Lingard was in a decent position initially, just needed to tee it up for himself a little better. Pulled up well by Duganjic, who turns. A little bit of pace about him. And then he forces the save. Looked like it might have been going just wide, I'm not sure. Keeper didn't want to take any chances. Too quick for the replay, even in slow motion. Didn't have a very good view of that, but it is a reminder that we're still waiting for Klimala to be introduced up front for Seoul. A player who, as I said in the first half, might thrive under these circumstances to get some goals as Moon Sun-min heads it into the turf and over. Tips it over. because of the height, I think. Doesn't want to take any chances. Tell you what, with Seoul's fans, their hardcore supporters group, boycotting this affair as a cheering group, it's not a brilliant game to do that. It's probably the most impressive we've seen from Seoul, aided by being up a man. They're really taking the game on. You don't always see teams with the extra men doing this. Seoul are making a strong Pohang side look rather ordinary. Lingard to take this corner. Gadget eyeing it. Yazan was the player coming in with pace to try and hit that. Can't find the target. A little shake of the head. George looking to play it on, and Seoul now in double figures for attempts. Pohang not having had much of a sniff of Seoul's goal in either half so far. We see those a lot. Player penalised, but essentially holding their ground. A lot of it is optics. Shin Kwang-hoon out to Kang Min-jun, the substitute. Plays it straight to Kang Hyun-moo's grateful arms. And he looks to play it for Lingard to chase, but it's too far out. And that'll just be a goal kick. Chipping it across to Yazan. To stumble a little, to collect himself. Bóng Yazan. And then Duganjic leading the line, an awkward bounce for him. An outcome looked so assured at half-time. We have seen amazing comebacks before, but Pohang are going to have to show something rather different. muscled out there by Kim Jin-soo. Park Soo-il down the right, knocks it back to Moon Sun-min, and then Woo Jae-moon will leave it for Yazan. Kim Ju-sung, Seoul committing everyone forward. Kim Jin-soo's cross punched upward, not so convincingly. Lucas can take it on. And the Lingard to Hwang Do-yoon. Yazan. That's what happens when you got everyone forward. Had it out as far as Woo Jae-moon. Lingard. Nice and floated. Sung again. Yazan. So just picking their moments. Come off the back of Lingard. And Juninho, Pohang need to find ways of countering. As I said before, the initial deadlock was broken in the first half. Teams were cancelling each other out, really defending well. Seoul still have so much of Pohang's attacking territory covered. Got to be some sort of soak it up and strike on the counter for Pohang. They are going to make a change. It looks like Kim In-sung from a distance. George turns well. George pulls it wide. Better. And even at 3-0 down, keep the smile on the face and even cheer with optimism. That says a lot about your fan base. Indeed it is. Kim In-sung then. Possibly Juninho will be... Well, Juninho would be an obvious like for like, but they may do something different to try to force this game a little. And in a way, to make more of a risk, you look at one of those four across the back line and it's fraught with peril of losing by a much bigger scoreline. Ganjic. Woo Jae-moon chips it up. Lingard was waiting, so was Kim Jin-soo, and it falls to him. Lingard. Back across to Kim Ju-sung. Lucas. Now Hwang Do-yoon. Block scoops up, but Moon Sun-min is there ahead of Oh Jung-won. And is caught for a free kick, Seoul. Well, that's confirmation. Juninho's off, Kim In-sung on. And no real change based on that in the system. Klimala, Lee Seung-ho about to come on for Seoul. central midfielder. Bóng, formerly of Pohang. Lingard takes not a terrible delivery, but a bit too much height. No one really read it. Yazan went out chasing and has ended up leaving George on the turf. On men looking to get ahead, forcing a corner. Something from nothing there. Kim Jin-soo flicks it, hopefully, but surely without much expectation. Got so many white shirts in the vicinity, but Moon Sun-min reacted by far with the most interest. Now Lingard, and it's into the side netting again. So Klimala and Isung-mo. Klimala, formerly of Celtic, more recently a frequent scorer for Sydney. Ganjic makes way. The other 22 midfielder, Hwang Do-yoon, is the other to make way for Isung-mo. Last year, these teams met each other 5 times, including in a cup quarter-final that Pohang won 5-1. Seoul's only victory over Pohang was away from home. Looks like they're going to right that ship tonight, unless something truly spectacular happens. Seoul with most of the ball, almost all the chances, and the extra man. Spray to Kim Jin-soo. And Lucas back to Kim Jin-soo. Has Lucas available to chase. Shin Gong-hoon, who's close to winning the battle, but not quite close enough. It's gone Seoul's way. Kim Jin-soo will take the throw. Well, you can say Pohang is still showing some fight. Just so difficult for them to hold the ball. It's been difficult for them to counter. When you don't have those two options, what are you left with? Was that chance for George dragging it just wide? Maybe looking to be overly optimistic on Pohang's behalf. Now Lingard into Lucas. Williams waiting. Back on to Lucas. Back towards cross. And deflection took it as far as Lingard, who curls it wide. Seoul do have, in the live league table, Ulsan now behind them. They'll be hosting Ulsan on July 20th. Makes that one all the more interesting, doesn't it? And then Pohang hosting the leaders Jeonbuk on July 19th after the summer break. Missed the last round before that break, but there will be, as I said earlier, that catch-up game, Ulsan against Daegu, July 12th. Of the summer heat, it must be said. Pohang only used 2 of their 5 available changes so far. Seoul are about to use number 4, and it's another attacking change for them. Chance for experimentation for both sides in their own way. Gives the ball almost to Kim In-sung. Kim Jin-sung comes across to rescue it. I think Kim Ju-sung has it from the back. To Lingard. Lucas. Decent ball back to Lingard. Still waiting for these changes. Pohang's is a theory defensive change with Lee Dong-hee coming on. There must be pressure on Pohang to change their system a bit. Son Seung-bom, the player about to come on for Seoul. Shin Kwang-hoon is off. For Seoul, it's Lucas. And a straight swap on the wing. Cross is good. It's headed by Klimala in the end, off target. Just over 20 minutes till we get to 90 and stoppage time. No major indication of the 5 minutes that we had at the beginning of the first half. Jun has gone down with an audible scream there. Son Seung-bom seemingly protesting his innocence. It's a late challenge. And confirmation of the yellow card for the under-22 Seoul winger. see quite clearly Pohang are really only committing 2 players back at the moment, pushing Park Sung-hoon further forward. They've got to do something of that nature, even if there is high risk of conceding again. Got the wide players who obviously defend. As Kim Ju-sung has stayed down for Seoul, central defender. Then treating it as if it's Krem. Kim Jin-soo is playing the sign language game as if to say, well, I'm not quite sure what he's saying now. At first I thought they were indicating no need to make a change, and now maybe he's indicating they need a stretcher, I'm not sure. Or perhaps just that was a motion for a player to warm up. Stretcher is there anyway. He's got Park Sung-hoon, already made placement to step in if needed. Inexperienced though he is relatively compared with Kim Ju-sung. Back to Yazan. Crossfield, you got Kim Jin-soo in space, but he uses the keeper instead. He's ended up with Kim Jin-soo under more pressure. And Kim Kyung-moo almost caught. Seoul played out for a Pohang throw. And if you're Seoul, if your manager Kim Ki-dong, even at 3-0 up, you're not going to be happy with that. It's not a great sign. They're not able to play their way out of that sort of position, and they'll have bigger games coming up that are tighter than this one. Starting with Ulsan on July 20th. Min sprays it all the way to Kim Jin-soo, heads it back across. Bóng is there. Seoul's attacking ambitions coming alive again after a bit of a lull. Pohang have a look down the left. Lee holding it up for George, just about. And we know George is capable. Forces the corner. Swings outward, and there's a lifeline. Substitute Lee Dong-hee. Well, Seoul remain in control, but they've made a few changes, and those changes have been made, it's been pretty noticeable relaxing of the attacking intensity. 4 changes. Just lost their rhythm maybe a bit, but 15 minutes plus stoppage time. A goal for Pohang anytime, you know, in the next 15 odd minutes, and suddenly we have a very interesting finish this game. Lingard. So many options around him. And then Seoul concedes the free kick. Well, this was the most comfortable of scorelines at half-time, and for much of the second half. For Seoul, they look far likelier to score next if there was going to be another goal in this game. Suddenly, it's all just shifting a bit. Min breaks away here. Min! Brilliant defending from the man who just scored a goal, Lee Dong-hee. Never say die. Min just couldn't get himself together there. Out to Bóng. Bóng turns away from Lee Dong-hee, wins the free kick. That's pure desire from Lee Dong-hee there, catching Yazan and his teammates Cole. As Klimala, a wild swipe. Suddenly this has gone from a game where we thought he might come on at half-time and be part of a really big scoreline, to one where Seoul have to play a little more cautiously. Do not want to concede in the next 10-15 minutes, setting up however long we get to add on. In fact, Kim In-sung scored what effectively was a stoppage time winner last time against Jeju, because he made it 2-0 beyond the 90 minutes, and then Jeju made it 2-1, also a stoppage time. Lingard has Seoul outside. Min onside. And then Klimala, if he was onside, in a golden position. It's just that first goal that he needs. Former Poland under-21. Seoul are going to make change number 5. Another attacking option, Jung Han-min. Presume, realistically, Jesse Lingard's the only contender to come off, unless they're going to take off someone they brought on. Eason. Oh, Klimala is in the middle, Munson Min out wide. Corner. Well, it is Lingard. Boos ring out. Lingard, his goal opened the scoring. The crowd call his name. There's been some dissent among some sections of the Seoul support with some of the management decisions. Lingard responding to the boos by visibly looking frustrated to come off. Now, arms outstretched, openly questioning the manager in front of the booing fans. That's, I mean, your Seoul, you're winning 3-1. Should be a celebratory night, but the club is losing Ki Sung-yong to Pohang. The fans are unhappy about that. And this is a man, Kim Ki-dong, who's under pressure over this decision to bring that man off. I mean, I've no doubt that they'll be fine behind the scenes, but it was an open sign of dissent in front of a crowd that's dissatisfied with Seoul's league position coming into this, down in 8th, remember. Even if they jump up to 6th with this win, if they hold on to the lead. Kim Jin-soo. What an effort from Park Soo-il. We know he likes to shoot from range. That was particularly ambitious. So Lee Ho-jae not able to continue a good run against Seoul last year when he scored 3 separate occasions against them. He's not been able to score in 2 meetings against Seoul this year. Kim Young-jin also off. And Jae-jun on, and so too Hong Song, and now both sides have made their full range of substitutes. Questioning of the Lingard substitution. They've got a break after this, and they're looking to protect a lead that might look strong for now, but you know, you just have one more Pohang goal anytime soon, and it's the kind of thing that can start to look like a bad decision. But here is Klimala! 4-1 Seoul. Beyond all doubt now, and his first goal for his new club. Jung Han-min. Not the direct assist, but the player who come on for Lingard was involved in the build-up for what it's worth. And then Klimala with a clinical finish. We might point out, incidentally, that Seoul might have a league rest, but they do also have their Korean FA Cup quarter-final coming up on Wednesday against Jeonbuk. Ulsan will be playing at Gwangju, Gangwon at Daegu, and Gimpo against Bucheon. A lot of teams have been resting heavily their first-string options, but for Seoul, the cup might be a real chance at redemption, so that can be a factor. Might be something that manager Kim Ki-dong points to in defence of his decision. Klimala has been brought on for the last couple of games as a sub. Will he earn himself a start against Jeonbuk perhaps? That's a good game maybe to have him on from the beginning. Here's Moon Sun-min, Kim Jin-soo. And now we really are counting down to just the 3 points going Seoul's way. It's been a season with relatively few goals for Seoul. Very few goals actually, I think we can just say objectively, but going some way towards making up for it tonight. No boos at 4-1. Why would there be? It's a bruising defeat for Pohang, who can point to Olmadan's red card, but really no excuse for losing by this margin, even with 10 men. Now Klimala, Moon Sun-min peels off to the left. Klimala takes it on himself and then beaten by Oh Jung-won with an apology. Well, it's, along with the goalkeeper position, one of the most important to have confidence, and he clearly showed the confidence to go on there, Klimala. Jin-soo. And Moon Sun-min reacts. Bóng just getting there. Bóng lets it run out. Just a minute to go to the 90. And I don't think anyone from Pohang is desperate for a long period of stoppage time. Back to Kim Ju-sung. Easton ball. Then it's Rujemu lifting it up. Chong Han-min lifting it up. Kim Jin-soo. Bóng fancies a go. To Kim Ju-sung that had the stretcher out. I don't think there's been anything that would suggest a very long period of stoppage time. 6 minutes is, I must say, a long longer than I would have anticipated. Seoul might fancy another goal here. Moon Min. Bóng, part of a Pohang defence. Would not have seen this coming tonight. The scoreline as it stands brings Pohang's goal difference for the season to 0. Consider that leaders Jeonbuk have a positive 20 goal difference. Seoul now up to positive 3. Kim Jin-soo with space to exploit. Jeonbuk taps it out. Just kept in actually. Hong Song not giving up the chase. Coming into this fixture, Seoul averaging about 1 goal a game. In fact, they were averaging just under 1 goal a game. An Jae-jun blasts that wide. Moon Min. Now Bóng cuts in from the left. Turning is Bóng with Moon Min inside, uses him inside the last 2 minutes. Min can bring it down. And the seconds count down towards 96. 5 goals scored on the night. There had been 5 points separating these teams coming into the round 21. Encounter as it is just beyond the halfway point of the season. We're now cutting down to 2 points. Yazan might view that in hindsight as a needless surge forward because he's feeling his hamstring. Oh, Jong-won. And still, Pohang look at their options, headed back by Kim Jin-soo into the box, and now we're beyond 96 minutes. And there's very little reason to add more time, so the referee blows the whistle, and it finishes 4-1 Seoul, an emphatic scoreline, a big 3 points, and back in the top half. Pohang can say it wasn't their night. They had a red card. They conceded a penalty. It was 3-0 and almost done and dusted at half-time, but still work to be done after such a defeat against a team that scored less than 1 goal on average per game.